Hi everybody, this is Levi Clay and I am back again to do a little instructional video. This video has been brought to you by one of my kind patrons over on patreon.com, a guy by the name of Ian, who has watched my video on guitar books that you must own, and in particular the video on the Bebop Bible. And his question to me was, Levi, how do you go about practicing with the Bebop Bible? How do you use that book as part of your practice routines? And I thought it was a very interesting question, and as Ian gets a video every month from me, gets to request what video he wants. If you want to do something like that, head on over to my Patreon, there's a link below. What I thought I could talk about then is how I take concepts from books that deal in vocabulary and show you how I go about practicing them, because the problem with a book like the Bebop Bible is there's a lot of vocabulary, there's a lot of things to learn. And it would kind of be like me giving you a dictionary and saying, right, here you go, here's a French dictionary, go away and learn to speak French. It doesn't really work like that. You can't just learn all of the words and then suddenly be able to speak it. Now the Bebop Bible is great for that because there's plenty of words in there for you to learn, but it doesn't really teach you a lot about using those words. It tells you kind of grammar, how you can combine words, and I'm using phrases like grammar because it does talk about language in there. It talks about words, sentences and paragraphs, using smaller phrases to create longer paragraphs. The way I like to practice it is using concepts from it. So as an example, I'll look through the book, I'll look through the G7 vocabulary, maybe the dominant 7 vocabulary, right? And there's plenty of stuff in there, and you'll get all of this sort of stuff. Stuff like that, you know, simple bop influenced vocabulary. Now that's all you know, G13 or G7 sound. It's all totally inside. Now when I'm playing that sort of stuff, and this is important, there's context. I can always see this G7 chord form on the neck. So when I'm playing, I can always see I'm hitting the 3rd, I'm sliding from the sharp 5 to the 6, root, 6, chromatic down to the 5, 4, minor 3rd, 3rd, root, 5th, flat 7, root. I'm always thinking of the chord, which means that if I need to play in C, or G, or D, C, back to my G. There's a chord reference. So what I think you'll probably have the most fun working on is looking at some of the lines that are altered in sound. So rather than a G7 or a G13, if we talk about altered chords, things like, and you get cool lines in there like, altered vocabulary. Now there was a lick in the book that I found that I really enjoyed, and it sounds like this. This is the way it's written in the book. It starts on the root, and it sounds like this. Now, to come across that lick, what I've done is I've played lots of licks from the book. I've learned, you know, I've opened the book and I've read every single lick until I found one that I've gone, yeah, I like that one. Now, the first step with that is getting it under your fingers, I guess. But context as well. So when I play that, I'm starting on the root of my G chord, so I see this chord here. It starts on the root and ends on the root as well. Now, I understand that altered chords work in context as function, so it's important that I'm aware that when I get to the end of this line in G, that I can start thinking about where I'm resolving, so C in this case, or C7 if I'm playing a blues. So it doesn't matter what I play, it's about seeing this G chord, and then when I get to my C, being able to see seeing that chord or the C sound. So I have the lick, let's try that again. Now what you'll notice is I've got an approach. I'm approaching the first note of the chord from, or the lick, sorry, from semitone below. Now that, to my ears, is where I'm adapting the vocabulary. I'm taking tiny little alterations. I'm taking the lick as written and then bringing some personality into it, taking it away from something that's in the book with just a simple chromatic approach tone. Now you could go about learning that lick in different positions, but I would prefer, personally speaking, to have vocabulary in this area and this area and this area, so on and so forth. If I'm here, I might play, whereas if I'm here, I might play. Different types of vocabulary. Obviously it all sounds very bebop influenced because it is. So here's my lick. From there it's about changing the rhythms as well. So rather than, I might put a triplet in there, so we have now it's become my own sort of lick. Because it's not the same as it was in the book. From there, it's about practicing using this lick in a context. So as you will have seen on the intro, I've got this loop, this B flat 7 loop, and I'm just playing on this B flat 7 chord. But then I'm going to force myself to play this lick in the right place. Getting into the lick and getting out of the lick. And that's really how learning vocabulary is, or developing your vocabulary is. That's where the work has to go, and it's about how you can fluently integrate this vocabulary into your playing. So on a blues in B flat, over the 2/5, or just bar 4 where you'd think altered, I can play my B flat altered licks. And I chose to do this in B flat rather than G, so we can force ourselves to play these in different keys. So I take my B flat, my lick, so let's listen to it over a loop and I'll give you some ideas of how I might use that. So I didn't like how that sounded there, so I keep going. I'm not too keen on that either. Start in a different place. There you go. So I forced myself to just keep playing that one lick, and obviously I've got other dominant, altered vocabulary that I can practice there, but this is about me mastering that one lick. Hopefully that shows you how the book has been useful to me. I've searched through the book to find some vocabulary that I like, and then I've worked on just that one piece of vocabulary and forcing it into my playing so it becomes very automatic. And that's really what this should be about, right? I can call upon that sound now whenever I want. If I'm playing in a different key, it should just be there. As long as I can see this chord form, do it in F. I don't know why I resolved there. It's resolving to B flat, so really F. I could use that on the end of a blues. So hopefully that gives you some ideas on ways that you can start integrating this stuff into your own playing. Now what I would recommend you go out and do is transcribe that. Transcribe some of my licks and ideas, because I'm not playing complicated phrases there. I'm not shredding by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just trying to keep a good swing feel. And it will help you integrate these rhythmic ideas into your ears, so when you're learning licks from the Bible, like, you can make them anyway, that's probably enough from me. So lastly, I would just like to extend a massive thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. Some names up on screen right now. These guys support me at my $10 tier, and if you'd like credit on my videos, then please do head on over to my Patreon page. You'll find a link in the description below. You can get plenty of goodies like access to my private patron only Facebook group where we talk about stuff like this, and I'm sure a transcription for all of these licks will probably end up going. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm sorry I've been gone for a while. We had some trouble, but I will be back with a vlog on that subject very soon. Peace out, guys. Much love, and it's been my pleasure to serve you. Bye.